connecting to the real nerds is so easy. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. We have a Twitter account, @RealNerds. We also have Instagram. You can call us, 720-6nerds5. You want to email us? You can do that too, realnerds@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show. In Colorado, there is only one place that has the best selection of collectibles. Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
For over 27 years, Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics has been the ultimate destination for collectors.
They have a wide selection of hard-to-find coins, action figures, role-playing cards. You can go over there and get yourself a copy of Dominion and sports memorabilia.
Hey, Peyton Manning's a Bronco. I was there yesterday. They have a signed Peyton Manning jersey.
And, of course, they've got comics, which is what I go there for.
All their back issues are half off. On Saturday, all dollar issues are only 50 cents.
And if you sign up for a hold slot, you'll get 20% off graphic novels and comics.
So stop by 6700 Wadsworth Boulevard in Arvada, Colorado, and tell them the Real Nerd sent you.
For barbecue that can't be beat, try Birdman Barbecue Sauce. Available and original and spicy. These robust, full-flavor sauces have the awesome power to kick your taste buds in their face. And for that smoking taste on everything you eat, try new Birdman Smokin' Rub. Caution! Meat left unrubbed may suffer from flavor performance anxiety. You can pick up Birdman Barbecue at local area Ace Hardware stores, Ruff's Barbecue in Golden, and the Danny Cash Hot Shop off Broadway. You can also like us on Facebook at Birdman BBQ.
Hey, this is Andre Gower from the Monster Squad, and you're listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.
And with that, welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic Con 2017 and beyond. I am Ryan. With me is
James
and
Zach,
and Brad is living it up in Seattle at Geek Bowl
across the country. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so good for him. And if
it means that unfortunately we are going to postpone.
The reason we have to postpone the nerdies is because
Brad's not here.
James, if we say something cooler, like we've had so many people vote that it's taking us longer to tally the votes than we previously decided.
No. It's because we are an institution of quality and standards, and we want to make sure that nothing gets incorrectly read. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that only the right movies are awarded properly.
Oh, I see what you're doing now.
We're auditing all of our envelopes and making sure that everything is read properly.
We'll make
Warren Beatty is not being allowed in the building.
We made sure that Price Waterhouse was not allowed to tabulate these votes.
Especially Warren Beatty. And I do kind of feel bad for Warren Beatty.
Poor guy.
Because he was reading I thought he was being funny. But after he tells a story and you go back and look, it's like, no, he was trying to figure out what the hell he had, too.
Yeah. Well, he's an Academy member, like a part of the governors. Mm-hmm. So he has a stake in this. Like, if he's trying to figure out what's going on, like, he had a serious look on his face. Faye Dunaway's the one who was just like, I don't care, Warren. I'm just here.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're both in their 80s. So
that's true. Yeah. They have the right to go back home and eat granola.
Maybe they should just have, like, Justin Timberlake present awards or something. I don't know.
I think he just didn't like Moonlight, and he was like, this is my chance. You know what? Fuck it. I want it to be La La Land. I'm going to see what I can pull off.
For I am Warren Beatty, and I can command the world.
Except I can't make a hit movie anymore.
Oh.
Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie, and we podcast our experience of the world. This week, we went and saw Logan.
Yeah.
One Last Ride.
Mm-hmm. That's not the subtitle.
I'm pretty sure it was at the beginning.
I thought it was One Last Time. But
no, because no, I'm just kidding. She's on the horse, and he's like, one last ride.
Yeah.
But really cool because he's Hugh Jackman, and I'm not.
I know.
I missed last week because my little doggy Reggie died.
Aww.
So if you don't hear someone shaking his collar and during our show, that's because Reggie's no longer with us.
Yeah, poor little guy.
I know, it sucked. Like,
was he around before we started the podcast?
No. Just like pretty much about a year after we started it, I think. So I had him for almost exactly, a little over exactly 4 years. We got him like 3 days. Our anniversary of getting him was 3 days before he died. So, but it is weird. He got diagnosed with diabetes. And
Sorry, I'm high-fiving yourself.
no, it's fine. And so he went in Friday and he was fine. He got his first insulin shot in the morning on Saturday when we went out with the ladies. And we came back and he like threw up on the floor. Like, I wonder if he's okay. So my wife's like, maybe he needs more insulin, and because he's supposed to get it twice a day, and it gives him an appetite.
The thing with insulin is just give him more.
Yeah, pretty much. So she.
That's not how insulin works.
No, I mean he was scheduled for the insulin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then he wouldn't eat, and then he just kept on getting like weird. And in the morning, he had an appointment anyways. It wasn't till 11, and we woke up, and my wife was getting ready for work, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, there's something not right with this guy. And then, he had like total organ failure, later in the day. Yeah, it's
poor
weird.
Guy. He had a lot of things wrong with him, so hopefully,
So we, that's the second time I've had to. What happened?
Good job, buddy.
Second time I've had to put a dog down.
Yeah.
It's a great thing when you have to sign that paper.
Oh, man.
But you know what? It's all right.
Yeah.
Life goes on.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Poor guy.
I mean,
Right.
the doctor says, well, we can do other tests and probably keep him, in the hospital for 5 days.
I was like, dude, he's got one eye, he's got an autoimmune disease, and he's super diabetic.
Yeah, and he has, like, tons of organs failing.
Right, yeah. Like,
if that was me, I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and take the short ride here.
As the man once said, there's your sign.
Right. So, yeah, that's why I wasn't here last week, so thanks for holding down the fort. It's weird.
Oh, no problem.
I think I did something like 60-something episodes in a row.
Yeah.
Maybe even more. I haven't missed an episode in a long time, and then
Yeah.
I missed 2 in 3 weeks. It's
all right.
weird.
It happens.
Life happens,
How
man.
was Disneyland?
No, it was fun.
Good.
Yeah, Kellen was good. Kellen went and experienced his first movie this last week. He went and saw Lego Batman.
Awesome.
I guess
Nice.
I should say in the theater.
Yes, right. He has seen,
Yeah,
Jurassic Park.
In Jurassic World. He loves them. I was really nervous because I didn't know if he could sit, in a theater.
and be still.
Exactly. And so I didn't know what I was going to do with him last Saturday, was it? I don't remember when I took him. Saturday, maybe it was Monday. Yeah, I think it was the day after Reggie passed away.
I
And
think it was Monday.
so I looked at the bowls because before noon it's like $5 a ticket.
Sure.
And I looked and there's nobody else for the Lego Batman movie at 10. I was like, I'll take him to that one. Because if he runs around as a little butthead, at least he's not bothering anybody.
Right.
So we get there and he asks for popcorn and he sits there and I try to time it so as soon as we walked in the movie started.
Okay.
And I actually walked in when it's like one last thing when you go to AMC's and little stupid dot things bounce around.
Oh, gosh.
I was like, I did it right. And it came on and he watched the whole movie.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't move.
That's cool. He was like into it.
Oh yeah,
got
and he would
sucked in.
talk and he said, "Watch out for the Joker." It was really funny.
Aw. Yeah.
So,
and,
yeah.
and you said, don't talk in the movie.
Yes, exactly. So now I feel better. Spider-Man comes out in 4 months. By the time it rolls around, he'll be a little more mature.
Yeah. You can take him out, second or third week it's out. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I'll see it a couple times opening week.
Oh, of
but
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Well,
realized
you'll be living in the theater.
Yeah, I actually took that week off, not realizing, because my wife's family actually has a family reunion in Tennessee, 4th of July weekend. So I took it off. I was like, I'll just take extra 2 days off because Brad's birthday is on the 9th, and he's doing that cool thing. So I'm like, I'll just take it all off. Fuck it, and then I'll be able to watch Spider-Man a bunch.
Oh, that's a good idea. I should try to take that day off for his birthday.
Yep. Speaking of why I took that week off too, because Denver Comic-Con is happening. And speaking of a guest announcement at Denver Comic-Con, Weird Al Yankovic will be at Denver Comic-Con.
That is strange.
So cool.
But awesome.
Man.
I was reading his little blurb that he had for the con, and he guess he's going to be doing panels and photo ops.
Is he going to be performing at all? Or
I'm
just
guessing
doing
he
con stuff?
would.
Yeah, I would think for sure you'd at least if he's game, you'd get him to do something.
So, Brad right away says, we won't get an opportunity. You know how Brad is, always
right, defeatist.
defeatist, yeah. So I'm like, fuck that, dude. I'm going to email Chris right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if you need someone to do Weird Al panel, let me know.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
And then I'm going to force Brad to do it with me. So
just sit here, Brad. You don't even need to talk.
And then I'm going to ask, I'm sure Weird Al's a cool guy. I'm going to see if we can
hell
get, backseat photos or something.
Yeah. You could tell him the cute story about how you and I went to the same movie like 10 years before we met. It's adorable.
And if we do get that, I was actually thinking this year too, when I do
Sorry.
panels, I think I am going to bring James with me at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be cool if we did do like backstage photos.
Oh, sure.
Where we're about to go on, and because I was thinking like last year I'm sitting hanging out with Ralph Macchio and C. Thomas Howell, and all anyone has to go on is that I said it happened.
Right. Well, and
we need
evidence.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they were in the room, they know I was out there. But
right, if they went to the panel, they were like, "Oh yeah, he totally hosted."
But I have so many stories of like James Marsters hugging me and
how good he smells.
I know I got to do his panel this year.
I hope that for our 300th episode there is a supercut of how many times you've told the story of how good James Marsters tells.
You know what? If we can figure that out,
it's like remixed or something like that. Like he smells. This
is so good,
dude. He does. I'm telling you. Someone else should do his panel so they know I'm not a liar.
James Marsters, I'm here to do your panel. Can I hug you and smell you?
You know what? I swear to goodness, if I get his panel, I'm going to tell that story.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask if I can tell a story.
Yeah.
And he's a cool guy. I'm sure he'll let me.
Yeah.
I'll say, it's a funny story, too.
You need to get the Eliza Dushku panel and smell her.
Dude, if I get Elijah Dushku, I've almost done
creepy.
every Buffy.
Yeah, except for Buffy and Xander.
Yeah, well, Xander was supposed to be there like 3 years, and he
Yeah.
keeps on getting arrested. So,
oh,
it wouldn't be so sad if it wasn't true.
I know. It's terrible.
So yeah, just a reminder, you can log on to DenverComicCon.com to purchase your tickets. Very, very few 3-day tickets are left. I think they're actually out of the VIP ones, so they're going fast. Make sure you get them. You can purchase. I don't think they've put out like the photo opportunity stuff yet.
Sure,
but I know Weird Al's doing them, and I think we should, split that $45 and let Brad get a picture with Weird Al.
Oh hell yeah! Man.
Because I think it's only $45 for a picture.
When we were at that concert, I was so close I could have wiped the sweat off of all of him.
Yeah.
Like I could have reached out and touched all of the
That's
sweat.
so funny. I think me and Brad were like in the 5th row or something.
Yeah. I was in maybe the 30th, but there was one point on one song where he came down an aisle and sat in a chair right behind us.
I Want to Be Your Lover.
Yes.
See, I remember that. I also remember that concert. I don't know if James remembers when he did like the request.
Like 11.
He asked for a request, and me, Brad, and I forget who else went with us. We stood up and chanted "One more minute."
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, one more minute." So it was great. So I do have, and I love Weird Al. So another reason to go.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping too that it's going to be a Buffy like 20th anniversary kind of thing because they already have a few Buffy people.
That'd be sweet.
And I hope Georges comes back because he's drawing an issue of Buffy coming up again. Yeah. So it's exciting.
I have a really good idea for something I want Georges to do, but I'll save it for when we get there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. I got to think of another Spider-Man. Maybe I should have him do Spider-Man. I have him.
That's
Green
true.
Goblin, the Shocker, and Gwen Stacy.
You got to the Shocker before you got to.
Well, because he's
would you do Spider-Man?
Well, because how many people commission a Shocker?
No, agreed. No, yeah.
So
yeah, it's good too.
Because I also want a Satana. So that's going to be. I'm going to get a Satana commission, and something else. I don't know yet.
Oh man, they're all so cool.
I know. You know how that all started is he's like, oh, that Gwen Stacy sucks. You can have it.
I know.
He didn't even sign it originally. He's like, oh, I guess I should sign it.
Oh, they're all so good. Anyway, cool.
And yeah, he's a nice guy. And what's really cool with him, if people ever go to cons with him, he charges only $50 for a head sketch.
I know, it's crazy.
If you do a whole body, I think it's $150.
Yeah.
But that's not even that bad.
Yeah.
So, support him. And if you get his sketchbook for $10, he draws a sketch on the sketchbook for you.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
That I forgot to get my sketchbook that I bought from him last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Well, I'm sure he still got some.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
And he does so much for me. I'm like, eh.
Right.
So if someone got a sketchbook with a gentleman on it, that's mine.
Oh, what? Oh, that's cool. Man.
Yeah, what'd I do?
Oh, poor Mickey stopped.
That's all right. We have, about 8 more episodes.
Oh, man. Cool.
So, now we're talking about Comic-Con, a subject or a segment that's kind of gone away that I haven't done in a while, that I want to kind of bring back slowly and get people excited about other things that have influenced my life.
Movie stats?
No. It's good. It's comic books you should be reading.
What's up, nerds? It's the Comics Corner.
Now, usually I'm like, this new issue of Spider-Man's really good. Now, this is still in the Spider-Man family, but it's a really good comic. It's Spider-Woman, and it's written by Dennis Hopeless and drawn by Javier Lopez or Veronica Fish. And it deals with Jessica Drew becoming a newly single mom and fighting bad guys with a reformed bad guy, the Porcupine. Yeah, a real bad guy who is really lame. But it's a really fun little book, and the art in it's amazing. I think it might have been canceled because in my last few previews, there hasn't been like a new issue of it.
Yeah.
So, and they haven't said, but usually that means it's no more.
No.
But it's really well done, and I think if you are looking for a Spider Person book that has some baggage but is really easy to pick up and read, Spider-Woman's really good.
How sexy are the covers? I only read sexy Spider-Woman covers.
Well, they got rid of those super sexy ones.
For the record, I'm
I know.
being
There's actually
sarcastic.
a really funny.
I felt dirty about that as soon as I said it.
There's a really funny joke in an issue of that where, because she changed her costume, it's like this red and black leather jacket, and she has these goggles that help her. She's like a spy, basically.
Not get dust in her eyes?
Yeah. And she talks about how that costume made her. It's pretty funny. I forget the issue, but they bring it up.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, you should pick it up. It's a really fun book. And what I really like about it, there's these really cool like double splash pages they do. So the artist will do a double splash page, but in it he'll draw like action sequences. So it'll be dialogue. So he basically just got rid of the boxes or the frames.
Sure.
And you just follow it like a puzzle. It's really cool. There's this one where she's climbing through a duct system on the space station. And so each time she goes through a different area, she's saying something. It's really well done. So yeah, you should pick it up.
Cool.
It's a fun little book that I don't think is very popular, but it should be.
Yeah.
So yeah, pick up Spider-Woman at Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Awesome. Yeah, man, we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, and she's fighting the Hobgoblin right now, so it's pretty fun.
Cool.
So yeah.
Awesome.
See, I bring in stuff back. And look for a new article tonight of my favorite Spider-Man artist is Sal Buscema, and I put together my favorite frames or pages or splash pages he's done.
Sure.
And I put it up.
Panels.
Yeah. There we go. And I'm writing an article about it right now because I think he's kind of like a forgotten one.
Yeah.
And he's great. So hopefully I'll finish that tonight.
Awesome.
Cool.
But we love to go see movies. And the place we love to see movies is the Alamo Drafthouse.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Kevin Smith.
Hi, I'm Leonard Maltin.
Hi, I'm Mark Hamill.
Hi, I'm Elijah Wood.
This is Seth Rogen.
I'm Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
I'm Ron Starr.
Welcome to the Alamo Drafthouse.
And not my student loan account information. For some reason, that came up. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know how I see movies in his student loan account, but
The student loan keeps me from seeing movies. That's for damn sure.
Man, the pre-show this week for in front of Logan was really good.
It was
I liked
pretty
it a lot.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every week,
second now.
every week I see that trailer for Raw in front of every movie that I go to.
I think Steve's doing it just to piss you off.
I fucking hate that trailer. This week I was with my mom. I dragged my mom and dad to go see Logan with me.
And she saw the trailer for Raw.
Yeah, when it started, I literally leaned over to her and went, "You don't need to watch this."
You know what Raw reminds me of? Fucking the Neon Demon.
Yes, it does. Yeah, but
So you should love it, James.
but there's more rashes in Raw, and I have a problem watching people scratch rashes in trailers. Like, it just feels uncomfortable.
Do they throw up perfectly shaped eyeballs and eat them? Because that's happens in Neon Demon.
Oh, spoilers, man!
Yeah, if you want to see a shitty movie, go ahead and sit through 2 hours of boring.
So fucking.
You know, actually, that movie's only an hour and 40 minutes long, and it seems like it's 4 hours long.
No, because you're just in hell the whole time.
No,
it's great.
fucking garbage.
Oh no, sir! We're gonna talk about fucking garbage this week.
Anyways, so they're doing a few things this next couple weeks over at the Alamo Drafthouse. The big one is Riled Up. It's a John C. Reilly film and bluegrass celebration. Mm-hmm. So for 2 days,
Which is an awesome idea.
I'm sorry, 3 days, they're showing a lot of John C. Reilly films.
Yes.
We need to talk about Kevin is the 10th.
Which I've never seen.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, it's pretty
No.
good.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's
Right.
It's very dark.
it's very dark.
Yeah.
Chicago is on the 11th.
Nice.
Step Brothers Movie Party is also on the 11th.
Fun.
The Lobster is the 11th. Hey, you want probably the best movie party you're going to go to all year. Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, is also the 11th.
Yeah, Walk Hard, the shitty cock story.
No, you're wrong on that one.
What is it? Gangs of New York is the 12th. Magnolia is the 12th. And Talladega Nights movie party is also the 12th.
No
Magnolia.
Prairie Home Companion.
Yeah, that would be good too.
That
man.
would be good for it. Because it has bluegrass music in it.
I know. I like him. It's funny because I see the trailer for that every week, and I like John C. Reilly a lot. But I watch the trailer and I go, man, he's really hit or miss for me. Because like half of the stuff that's on there I hate, and then half of it is like fucking Magnolia. I'm like, oh man, now that we've met each other, would you mind if we never see each other again? Oh, that movie's so good.
So yeah, that's basically what's happening this week at the Alamo Drafthouse, because you can tell it's a John C. Reilly party. It's their specialty screenings.
Because he seems to be the main character of Kong Skull Island, based on the trailers, especially that first one.
They have some Q&A with Kong tomorrow night, but
really?
it's sold out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I don't know who's the Q&A with. Because it didn't. I guess I could have read the information.
Probably King Kong. Yeah,
that'd be sweet.
What was it like being in the movie? Interesting. Is it true you're having an affair with Brie Larson?
Would it be sweet if she turned into Captain Marvel during that, and like, and the way Kong gets to New York is she throws him there?
She just starts saving children from rooms.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Brie Larson's great, by the way.
Yep. Excited.
Yeah, that's what's happening at the Alamo Drafthouse.
Cool.
What do you want to do first, James?
How's about some news?
Cool.
It's real news.
You guys want to do some news?
The Oscars happened this last week, and
It did?
I don't know. Mostly predictable things happened. I don't know.
Until the one thing that wasn't predictable happened.
Right, until La La Land half won, and then Moonlight won, and whatever.
And then there's this big conspiracy that they did it on purpose to get people to talk about the Oscars again.
All right, sure.
I forget where I read that.
Yeah,
Probably Breitbart.com.
I know. I didn't read it. I didn't watch them this year, so of course we were recording.
I heard it from a guy in a parking lot. His name's Deep Throat.
I'm gonna skip to like the most recent news, which is the Deadpool 2 trailer is released.
That was too damn funny.
It's a trailer, but
it was a sizzle.
It's a teaser.
Unfortunately, because I saw the movie today, I already knew that I was in front of it. It would have been cooler if I never found out about it until I went and saw Logan.
So I found out that there was a secret trailer, but I didn't read anything, and I of course thought about it and was like, okay, it's Fox. Like, what could it be? Deadpool comes up, and then it wasn't until. But the next day, like Saturday morning before I went to see the movie, it was the #1 thing on Reddit was like, hey, they leaked the new trailer for Deadpool. And I was like, motherfucker, come on.
Yeah.
Like, come on. But the way they sneak it in is really cool because it's actually on the film reel.
Yeah.
So at the Alamo, I got through all the trailers, and I'd even asked Steve beforehand. I was like, hey, is the secret trailer on this one? And he goes, oh, yeah, it is. And so I got through all the trailers and was like, oh, I guess maybe we're not getting it. Like, Steve lied to me. What an asshole. And then, of course, it started, and I went, oh, cool. Man, it's really good.
Yeah, it's fun.
Even afterwards, my dad was like, is Deadpool, like, really funny like that? Because that was good. I was like, well, yeah, but with a lot more dick jokes and blood. So... I don't know,
Yeah.
Like Dan starts talking to him. I'm like, Dan, don't tell my parents to go see Deadpool.
No, you tell them to see it. Actually, my favorite joke in the trailer is when he's changing in the phone booth. If you look to the right, so Cable's name is Nathan Summers, and in it on the phone booth there's graffiti that says Nathan Summers is coming, but it's spelled Cumming,
right?
And that's awesome.
My parents told me they tried to watch Deadpool recently, and it wasn't the dick jokes or the blood or anything like that that they couldn't understand what was happening in the movie. They were like, first they're flashing forward in time, then back in time. Your mom and I just shut it off.
Like every X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
and yet they love every other X-Men movie.
Deadpool is really funny, and I feel the same way about Logan, where people are. It's Sunday, so now they know it's made like $89 million.
Yeah.
People are shocked that superhero movies rated R will make a lot of money. They shouldn't be, because most people that read comic books are my age.
Right.
So making them rated R doesn't matter.
Well, and this one in particular needed it.
Oh, yeah.
So we will get there. Terminator 2 Judgment Day is getting a 3D release on August 25th this year.
Woo!
Which I think is cool. I don't know why I'm excited for this, but I totally am.
Terminator 2 is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally why.
Just
All right.
any excuse to see it in the theater again.
That is partially it, yeah, because I've never seen T2 in,
Well,
in a
you know
theater.
what's going to look great is when he has Linda Hamilton pinned down. He says, "Call to John," and that needle's coming right at you.
Yes.
That'll probably look pretty sweet.
Well, or the
chase.
in the hospital when he comes through the bars.
Oh, yeah.
That might look really cool.
I was gonna say the LA River chase might actually
Oh,
look pretty
yes.
badass.
Oh,
in 3D.
yeah, the LA, yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
Did you see Emily Blunt this week?
Oh yeah.
Did you see Emily Blunt dressed up like she's Mary Poppins?
I cried a little. Because everyone on the podcast knows I love Emily Blunt.
Yeah,
and I
like,
love Mary Poppins.
I know.
And seeing the two together,
it's pretty good.
Got the bag and everything.
It's pretty good.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's crazy that I always think it's weird when they shoot movies so far in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it doesn't come out till next Christmas, so
Right.
we still have like a year and 9 months before it comes out.
Yeah.
So, 21 months of waiting to see her and Dick Van Dyke on the screen together.
Wait, is Dick Van Dyke in it?
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't said he's not playing Bert again, is he?
I don't think so, because I think it takes place in 1960s, so it would be 30 years after the first Mary Poppins.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I had this interesting conversation with... I don't forget who I was having it with, but they were telling me that Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is the best song in it, which is a great song. I'm going to go ahead and say Let's Go Fly a Kite is the best song in it.
Yeah.
It's either that or...
Feed the Birds.
Feed the Birds. But I'm a big fan of Let's Go Fly a Kite because it just signifies everything the movie's about.
Yeah.
And it makes me cry. And because you can't ignore your kids, no matter how famous you get. Oh, no, he doesn't play Bert. I'm sorry. He plays the old banker. So he plays a part he already played, but he doesn't need like the makeup or anything, obviously, because he's already old.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
That's pretty great. Well, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
We got a new trailer for Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Man's Chests, Nose Tails. Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Dead men don't drive cars.
You know what I do like about the trailer
on the streets
is it has the one thing I don't like about the trailer is it has the obligatory like Jack Sparrow like wink wink stuff, but when they get past the Jack Sparrow stuff, I think it looks cool.
Yes, because
I think bringing in different people to make it visually makes it look pretty great.
Well, I mean, I've said that's the only reason I'm excited because is because of the people who directed.
Oh, that's right, the Kon-Tiki guys.
Yeah, they're the Kon-Tiki guys. Though this looks nothing like Kon-Tiki.
No, but it seems pretty dark.
It does seem dark. Well, and they're saying it's the final chapter, which is interesting. Or at least in the trailers, they say that, which is weird because they haven't like said that in any of the promotional stuff. But I think that makes sense. The thing about it, the only reason I bring it up is that we get into a little bit of story, so that way. Because for me, the first trailer, I was like, oh man, like another just like CG villain. Like that's not what I wanted. But then they give us some of the story in the trailer, and I was like, oh, like this is actually kind of a cool revenge story. Mm-hmm. Like that part of it I like. And getting Barbossa back, I think Barbossa looks really good. Like he looks weirdly more realistic and less like Barbossa in a weird way. But
I mean, I'm interested. I even the fourth one, which isn't the greatest, there's still some fun to be had. So I'm actually hoping this one's really dark.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
We'll see.
Speaking of dark and not dark, the Alien Covenant trailer came out this week.
And it's pretty awesome.
It's really awesome. There's a couple of weird things about it. So there's no James Franco in the trailer, period, which to me is bizarre because I'm like, well, even if he's the first one to die, like... Man, you're not gonna like use a little,
I still
use
think
his stardom to get people there.
The trailers are a little misleading.
Yes,
because they're like, "Oh, these aliens are back."
Yeah,
something has to happen.
Well,
for Michael Fassbender to get there.
Yes. Oh, there's a whole Michael Fassbender plot that they're not leaking, and there's also real quick shots of the neomorphs, like the little guys from the end of the last one, from the end of Prometheus. But those are all like real quick shots, and the only stuff they linger on is the xenomorph shots. Which brings me to the lighter part, which is there's that shot at the end where like you see the xenomorph, and it's creepy looking, but it's also in the daylight, which, as I've said in the past, is like not how I like my xenomorph, right? Because like even that scene in Alien 4 where they're swimming in the water, and you're like, that would be so badass if the lights were off,
I think he's going for they're on a planet that's supposed to be a paradise planet.
Yes.
And because what was the original title of this movie? Paradise Lost.
Yes.
So I think there's yin and yang going on here.
Oh, no, very nicely done, sir. But
I'm
but
not just a
looks,
movie reviewer.
I was educated.
I also used the product. I was telling Zach beforehand though that the new Xenomorph design, like that mouth is creepier. I don't know why. It's smiling at you in a way that like I don't think it was before.
Yeah, I think it looks fun.
I'm gonna eat your face,
and I think
I like it.
Ridley Scott's such a great filmmaker that I can't wait.
Oh no, me either. Yeah, that's the thing. Like this is one of those, start watching alien movies now so I can be prepared.
Yeah.
Except for 2. Just fast forward through that one.
You don't
Aliens
you don't like Aliens?
I can't stand the dialogue.
Oh, it's fun.
The dialogue in that movie to me is so dated.
But it's fun.
No, James Cameron's not that good.
Yeah.
James Cameron, not that good.
He's okay sometimes.
He's okay sometimes. James Cameron,
I think it's always funny. It's like, I'm finally going to start shooting the sequels to Avatar. We don't care.
No one gives a shit. The only people who care are the people who work at Disneyland.
You had 8 years.
who have invested so much landscape and time into building you a theme park that they really hope you deliver.
Actually, the Disney stuff looks great.
It does, yeah. But I don't give a shit about Pandora.
Yeah, me either.
Like, that's the thing. If I were going to go to Disneyland, I'm going to ride the Disneyland rides. Like, I might take, hey, let's walk through the, Pandora jungle and see how cool the science stuff is. But anyway, there was just some news about the Tron 3 film that they were going to make and like how it was going to be a cool, invasion of the real world story. And then of course no one went to see Tron Legacy because most people are terrible
heathens. 100 million.
Yeah, but it didn't make what Disney wanted.
Yeah,
is the point. It
Disney
was a year where Disney was not doing as well as it wanted to, and anyway. So, but then there's
people realize that the first Tron is shitty, and
it is, yeah.
It is.
But Tron Legacy is fucking cool.
I know, it's still sitting on my shelf. I haven't watched it yet. I got it like 6 months ago.
You saw it like in theaters or something. You've never seen it?
It's sitting on my shelf. I got it like 6 months ago.
It's really cool.
It's part of my Disney movie rewards.
It's a good little like father-son movie.
So I'd say I got it for free, but it took me like 20 Disney Blu-rays to get it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Anyway, they're talking about rebooting it with Jared Leto, and
hopefully he'll bring what he brought to the Joker.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll mail used prophylactics to people, and that'll be a fun,
when you read that stuff,
fun time.
I don't think the Joker would do that.
Yeah, condoms for everybody. Anyway.
Can you imagine Mark Hamill saying condoms for everybody?
Condoms for everybody. Yeah. Well, if Donald Trump ever tweets it, I'm sure we'll get to hear that.
Nice.
Yeah, and Beauty and the Beast is gay. So in the news.
Wait, not the
That's
whole
news this
movie.
week. Yeah. According to Alabama, Beauty and the Beast gay movie. It's the moonlight of Disneyland.
See anything with gay people in
We don't
it.
like your movie around
So
here.
we were talking about this before we started. That like, okay, so basically that little dude from the original animated movie who is always like hanging off of Gaston,
loves Gaston,
and is pretty gay in the animated movie.
I mean, pretty much no one's as tough as Gaston,
right? Which, if you did it, what I was saying was like, if you did that today in a live action version of the movie, I think it would feel very offensive. So if you don't just say like, yeah, he's just gay and really into Gaston, just like all the women who are fawning over him, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I guess a big deal.
I know, it's so funny. Every time I think of Gaston, my friend Brandon is really narcissistic, and it's his favorite like character in that movie.
It's because it's him.
I know, he loves Gaston. I'm like,
it's pretty much Spencer Kane's attitude towards that movie too.
Yeah, no, Gaston's terrible.
His song's really great though.
Yeah, yeah, and
He's
I also
very good at expectorating.
And
have they really
anything
not?
in antlers.
Have they really not had gay characters before? Like, I feel like there are characters
I think
that
they
are.
have. I don't remember though. I'd have to think really hard.
Like, you look at it and you go, yeah, but.
Well, unfortunately for the rest of the world is growing up and realizing that they're not different. You know,
right? Well, yeah.
It's a shame that they get to that part in life where you think that seeing a gay character on screen is actually going to influence somebody's natural thinking. You know what I mean? It's sad that people still think that. But hey, people think that President Obama wiretapped him. So I mean, what are you going to tell people nowadays? You can't.
Mm-hmm. Wait, who? Gaston?
Yes.
Obama's been wiretapping Gaston?
No.
I gotta figure out how he does all this decoration with horns and shit.
You know what?
Just gotta make the White House look like this.
Yeah.
How does he swallow eggs with the shells still on him?
Because he's Gaston. He doesn't care.
He did it to get healthy and large. And now that he's a grown man, he needs 5 dozen eggs.
I don't know. Did you guys talk about the Star Wars 40th anniversary coming up last week?
No, we didn't.
They're talking about how there's rumor
really
that
happening.
No.
Okay, I was gonna say I think we didn't talk about it because at the time the consensus was this probably isn't happening.
Well, what happened is they did that we heard that maybe it's coming out for 4th anniversary. Makes sense.
Yeah, and of course the entire internet went yes.
Yeah, and then they were interviewing some guy who's in charge of the archives at Disney was in some panel. I forget where he was at, and they asked him about it, and he said, well, the problem they have is that those original films actually do not exist. They do not exist. They could probably acquire them somewhere. I'm sure there's reels of Star Wars unaltered around somewhere. Mm-hmm. But how they are and how Disney has them is they would have to go through and take the special editions and scrub out all the stuff because they don't have that. And I guess they could theoretically do it because, I mean, they'd make tons of money off of it and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I mean, there are reels out there. I mean, they could do a Jaws treatment where there are reels out there that they could find.
Oh yeah.
And there's there's the yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You could you can't even go there are cuts, but there's only DVD quality, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The closest you get is the.
Because didn't the original show were a special feature on the DVDs?
Was the original unaltered version?
Yeah. So the Laserdisc versions are, I think, the highest quality original cuts of the movie. But even original isn't necessarily true because it is, I think, the THX remastered versions.
Exactly.
It's the same version as the VHS tapes that I have. Which aren't necessarily what I want. It's terrible because what I want is a Jaws remaster. Like a Jaws-style remaster of that version, right? So I want you to go get the original film. I want you to scan it in, and then I want you to go in and color correct it.
Right.
Do some of the things that they did on that cut, so the sound is better.
Yeah.
Take the black lines around off of the raincore, that kind of stuff. I do want that, which is maybe terrible or sacrilegious, but I don't care. I just don't want fucking Hayden Christensen at the end or all the stuff that's terrible. I mean,
that Hayden Christensen doesn't bother me as much.
Oh, I hate it.
As Return of the Jedi is the worst offender of it.
Yes,
but that dancing CGI alien
in the Max Rebo band.
Rebo band. Yeah,
I think needs to get rid of that.
Well, there's actually stuff in the special edition that is really good. I think that adding more of the I want to say not wonton. The big Yeti monster from Empire, that extra shot of the big Yeti monster, I think is fine. There's certain things about the special edition that are really good. But there's even things where as you up-res it, in the higher resolution version, some of the reason why when they go through at the beginning when he's driving the car to the bar sequence, to the cantina scene, some of the reason they put some of those animals in there is that at high resolution you can see the Vaseline that covers the wheels so that the thing looks like it's hovering. There's reasons why he did some of that stuff, and that's okay. I understand that, but at the same time, the fucking Max Rebo band and hearing a Gungan scream "We sa free" at the end of Return of the Jedi, there's just some stuff that's just so over the top.
I
stupid.
forgot that. Fuck you.
We sa free.
Fuck you for making me remember.
It's so terrible.
Yeah,
it's why I don't own them.
But actually,
I still haven't bought them because why would I watch those?
No,
they'll just make me mad. No, I don't want to borrow them. They'll just make me angry.
The one thing I actually did like
here you can borrow this rash
is they remastered Song of South in 4K.
Really?
Does that mean we're going to get an imminent release of Song of the South?
Why did they do it if they're not going to release it?
I don't know.
Where did the news come out that they're doing that?
You have to read the interview with him. It's on Digital Bits.
Oh, okay.
It's really interesting.
Huh.
It's just a private print for Trump.
Probably.
That was really good. We only release it to KKK meetings. They pay well. That's terrible. That's just terrible.
I still think they could release that film if they did, like, you know,
Disney Vault shit.
Have Martin Landau introduce it, or not Martin Landau. Well, or Martin Landau, whoever. You know who I mean.
Leonard Maltin.
Leonard Maltin. Have Leonard Maltin introduce it at the beginning and be like, or that dude who does Turner Classic Movies, be like, this
Robert
movie,
Osborne?
yeah, this movie is a classic.
Yeah, just think of the time it was made.
Welcome to the Gold
And just
Mr.
love the
Chicken.
Briar Patch.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the only real reason is for Zippity Doodah, right?
Right. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Cool.
I don't want to watch it. That sounds boring. I just want it to be out. I just want to have the conversation about racism. Oh, man. Cool.
What are we doing next?
DVDs and Blu-rays.
All right.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
Is that Aladdin's lamp?
It is. The guy stealing Aladdin's lamp.
So the
That's
diamond's
Pete.
So the diamond's more valuable than the lamp that grants you 3 wishes.
That's true, man.
You could get millions of
Did
diamonds.
he use the lamp to get the thing?
Yeah.
That's weird. Speaking of Disney, Moana is out this week on Blu-ray.
I haven't seen it, so I'll have to pick that up.
You didn't see it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, man, it's beautiful. It's so good. It should have won Best Song. And I love La La Land, but, man.
Well, I had a feeling that I was going to win Best Song. It's too iconic now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jackie is out on Blu-ray this week, so Zach Eastman's happy. Page isn't loading. Super Bowl LI. The
Super Bowl Lee. It's like Jet Li, but Super Bowl Lee.
There was something about the logo on the field looked like it said LOL because they put the symbol between it. And I was like,
this
Super
is
Bowl
cool.
LOL.
The archive is doing this? Sorry, I'm looking ahead.
Yeah. See, this is why you can't sit over here. Blake Edwards' SOB, which I have no idea what this is. Zach?
That is a movie that inspired Kevin Smith.
What a son of a bitch.
That's what it stands for.
Yeah.
Finian's Rainbow, movie from 1968 with Fred Astaire in it.
Yep.
It looks like he's going to dance, and
it's kind of lame.
These very short women are in danger of getting stepped on while he dances on top of them. I think he plays a giant.
No, it's a Coppola movie from before he did The Godfather, and as well intentioned it was, it's just not that good.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Brand New Testament, God Exists, He Lives in Belgium, which is
Yeah.
that.
Looks kinda funny.
The trailers for that were pretty funny.
Yeah.
I thought that came out like 4 years ago, but still. Colors, which is the Sean Penn, Robert Duvall movie about painting.
It's getting a Shout Selects release.
It is. Yeah.
I am Colors.
Wow.
That's my only Sean Penn I can do. That or
Is a
I'm
bad
really
I Am
sad.
Sam.
I'm really sad. I'm Sean Penn.
Yeah. I think it's actually a movie where they're cops. I don't think it's about painting at all. I think it might be about
Racism?
Yeah. Man Down, Shia LaBeouf plays a bald guy. He carries a gun and some stuff. I bet this is a movie about PTSD.
PTSD. Right.
Just from the cover, that's what it looks like. The Eyes of My Mother is a movie about some eyes that aren't in a woman's head.
I think that's a horror film.
It is.
That's
from Magnet.
People really liked last year.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Cool. Hands down, one of the best horror movies of the year.
See? People really liked it.
Doesn't say which year, but of one of them. Speaking of horror movies, I believe this is Shout, though we talked about this last week, but Pulse, the ultimate shocker. So, do you know what this is?
So,
is it actually the movie that the Kristen Bell movie is based after?
No, because there's a Japanese one, and I'm pretty sure it's the Japanese version.
Okay.
So the American one with Kristen Bell is a remake.
Yes.
Of the Japanese. I'm pretty sure it's a Japanese version.
This is a Paul. Well, I think maybe last week was the Japanese version. This looks like an 80s horror movie.
Then I don't know.
Where a woman gets electrocuted. Because it's Paul Golding and Roxanne Hart.
Definitely not the Japanese version.
A tense little thriller
It's a tense little thriller with a touch of Stephen King. Wait, no, sorry, I
So it's
misread that.
overly long?
It's a tense little thriller with a touch of the Stephen King's, which is the newest disease affecting film these days.
Yeah, you don't want to catch Stephen King's, guys.
But
Call your local Centers for Disease Control for more information on the Stephen Kings.
If you do want to catch some Stephen King's, though, good news because it's only $4.89 on Amazon right now, so you can get Pulse real cheap. And then Incarnate, the movie where people eat crosses.
Remember when I was in Punisher?
Aaron Eckhart's.
Oh, it's Aaron Eckhart. I thought it was
unrated-
Thomas Jane.
No, it's Aaron Eckhart's unrated people eating crosses movie. We didn't see that, did we?
No.
Okay. Oh no, see the devil among us. Free us from the
loves
devil.
us.
Yeah.
Devil loves us.
Deliver us from evil.
Deliver us from evil.
Deliver us from evil. I like Devil loves us more.
Devil loves us. This I know.
Is that funny, Kellen?
Oh. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's pretty much everything. Whoa, wait. Except two-pack Assassination 3: Battle for Compton, which is I think a sequel to Assassination 2 2-pack.
I heard you talk about this on the show last
This is
week,
the most confusing thing.
and I didn't believe it, and now I'm seeing it.
This is the same cover.
This scares me
I don't get it. Anyway,
in such a weird way.
yeah. So that's this week in Blu-rays. Check it out.
Nice. We also watch movies throughout the week in a segment we call What We've Been Watching.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
James, what'd you watch?
Okay, I'm going to do two things, and then we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
So, I got a chance to see Hacksaw Ridge this week. Yeah, I was at Target, and they had a steelbook, and the steelbook looked cool, and people had said such good things about it that I thought,
What's the worst that could happen?
yeah, like I'll just pick it up, you know? And man, Hacksaw Ridge is real good. There's some slow-mo shots in it that I don't think are great, like, and I think that's actually the reason why I gave it like 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. But I think it's also just because of the budget of the film, which was a lot lower than what they had wanted it to be. But man, does it tell a fantastic story! Like it's one of those things, and they talk about this on the
true story.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it's something that you should watch the special features on the Blu-ray when you get a chance because they talk about how you've got this guy who I don't want to give too much away, but it's in World War II. He wants to go he wants to enlist, but he's a Seventh-day Adventist and can't touch a gun. So he wants to be a medic and save people, but he's got to get through basic training. And then of course once he get in and he becomes a medic, he saves a bunch of people, right? And they talk about the fact that he's this guy who is so humble that his entire life, right after the war, Hollywood kept trying to buy his life rights, and he never let them. And so it's a story that except in military circles and among the Seventh-day Adventists, no one really knows this story. Like it was certainly one that I had never heard of before. Mm-hmm. And so as you're watching this film and you're hearing about what this guy did, and I was lucky enough to go into it pretty blind. I knew just everything I just told you. It as the events unfold, like it's really harrowing and cool. The steelbook is pretty cool, and the image on the back at least gave me a clue of like, this is weird, but it was like this curious thing where I saw the image on the back and went, what the hell is this? Why is this a thing? Because when you find out why the movie's called Hacksaw Ridge, you're like, this is amazing. But at the same time, like, why the fuck would anyone go up there? That's terrible. Why don't you guys stay at the bottom? But it's
sounds like a Sergeant York type of story.
Yeah, it's a really fantastic film. It's definitely one that people should see. I gave it to my folks because it's not quite Saving Private Ryan violent. There's one shot really, like the very first half of the movie, there's basically no battle, no war, and then the second half is all war. And when it starts, he makes sure that the first shot of war is bloody and rough and shakes you awake. And then it's almost it feels very reminiscent of a Full Metal Jacket kind of thing, where the movie could almost be cut in half, and the first half would feel like a Hidden Figures, kind of historical drama, and the second half feels like a rough Saving Private Ryan, like opening sequence of Saving Private Ryan film. I think it's beautifully shot.
what they are able to do on the budget that they had is really amazing.
Yeah, because it was only like what, 40 million?
Yeah. Their original like request was 80 million, so they, you know, I think the actors are all really fantastic. It's weird. Oh shit! What's his name?
Andrew Garfield?
No. Well, Andrew Garfield is
Mel
amazing.
Gibson?
No. The guy from Swingers.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince
Vaughn. Vince Vaughn is in the movie, and he's really good. But there's something about him this time where you just don't quite buy him. Like he's almost, when he's trying to be an asshole, there are times where he also kind of seems nice because he's Vince Vaughn, and so I just like he's really hard to like ride the line. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's just sometimes his face. Mm-hmm. But he's also a character who's not in the movie a lot, but is also based on a real guy, right? So I think it's one of those things where you don't want to write the guy to be such a complete asshole because the real guy was alive to see the movie, which is pretty incredible. I think it's 100% worth checking out, and would absolutely have kicked The Jungle Book off of my list if I'd seen it last year. As soon as it was over, I was so moved that I was just like, oh yeah, this is definitely in that top 10 spot.
I need
for
to
me,
see it
so.
then.
Oh yeah, no. So when I get it back, I'll be sure to lend it to you.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great. I also got a chance to watch a little movie from a few years ago. I think 2012, maybe before that, called Blue Like Jazz. Which is based on
What is it called? I'm sorry?
It's called Blue Like Jazz.
Okay.
You don't need to remember because I'm going to tell you not to watch it. So it's based on a book that I really love by Donald Miller, but the book is a series of essays. Like each chapter is sort of an essay about, you know, what it was like to grow up as a Southern Baptist and then go to a really liberal college, and like his sort of relationship with his own faith and how, you know, difficult that was at times. And it's a brilliant book. The problem is that and then he went to write another book about that talks some about when these guys showed up at his door and were like, hey, we want to make a movie out of your book of essays. And he was like, why? It's not narrative. Like, you can't do that. And then they taught him all this stuff about like, well, you know, we're going to take your life, but we're going to change it to make it more dramatic. Mm-hmm. And the problem is they did that too much. And so, you know, so much of the conflict in his actual book is really good, and you can make a great story out of it. And I think they do the last sequence. Basically, it turns Donald Miller as into a character, obviously, and then makes him like just all this crazy shit happens. Like his mom starts banging his youth pastor, and then gets pregnant, and that pisses him off. And like it's all this shit that didn't actually happen in his life. And it seems so bizarre. Like it's like they're trying so hard to create conflict.
Like to dramatize it.
Yeah, when the conflict is you're a Christian at a liberal college. Like that's all it is. Like, you know, you're surrounded by people who think you're an idiot. Like make that the movie and make it really earnest. Because what's so great about his book is that it lets things be complicated and messy. Like it lets that question be something where you go like, yeah, I believe these things, but man, do I really hate the church because man, we're a lot of assholes. Like the spoilers, but it ends with him building a confession booth in the middle of campus, and then when people come into the confession booth, he apologizes to them for all the terrible things that Christians and the church have done. And it's a really huge, like, moving moment where he's being very honest about like who he is and how he feels, and it's such a great climax to a story, but it's not the climax to the film that they made. Like, it's the climax to this great book he wrote. And then the rest of the hour that happens before that is like this real schlocky, dumb Christian people movie where like people are hacky and terrible. And I think part of why it makes me so mad is because I love the book so much, and it undermines so much of what is great about that book. So yeah, don't watch Blue Like Jazz.
Yeah, wasn't planning on it.
It's really too bad. Because I think the story itself is one that if you've done a good job, you know, religious or not religious, people could have watched the movie and understood the conflict, right? It could have been a doubt-like movie where you watch it and go like, oh yeah, while I don't necessarily relate, I understand this, you know, human dilemma that this guy is in. It's really a shame. And then the very last thing was actually about a week and a half ago, but we didn't get to review it last week. Ryan and I went and saw 50 Shades Darker.
Oh, that's right. Fuck. Why'd you remind me?
Because, dog, we have to talk about this shit.
I'm kind of just gonna sit. No offense. I'm gonna sit back and listen to you guys because I've been waiting for this all week.
Wow.
So I had not seen the first one because I love myself.
Shocker.
So went into this totally blind, other than having had Ryan's review of the first film where he described the entire plot of the film in an effort to make us understand, which I only ended up going like, so when is the movie like taboo or interesting or like anything?
Doesn't exist. And the best way I can sum up the first movie, it's two horrible people who have unsexy sex.
Yeah. So one of the great things that your wife told me before the movie started was that the first two films take place over the span of 3 weeks, which basically means that every 20 minutes of the film are a day, which means every scene is about 6, like none of it makes any sense. So the first movie, ends and like he spanks her and she's like, "That's terrible."
Yeah, she spanks him and he crossed the line.
Yeah, it's just I can't do that. Which is crazy because you knew what he was.
Yeah.
But this one starts. So there's no plot to this movie or conflict.
It's garbage.
The characters, like, she says, like, I just, like, the movie starts and they're separated.
Yeah,
and she
she's
seems lonely.
heartbroken.
Yeah, and like 5 minutes into the movie, she goes to this art gallery where the artist, who's her friend, has just put up photos of her, but like shitty,
like innocent, sexy
portraits.
photos.
Yeah, no, they're like Hollywood like headshots of her, and they're hanging, giant 40-inch posters of her.
But what you have to realize too is she doesn't know that he put these pictures of her up.
No, she's just shocked. She's like,
it's pictures where she's like has like a finger like touching her lower lip, like, gosh.
I know. Didn't you know when he took the photos? What did you think he was doing?
Yeah, it's
like,
fucking garbage.
Yeah, and they're like this shitty black and white, like it's fucking high school garbage.
And then some like
High school.
This is the point at which I started laughing.
well, and then is it his,
No, that's not true.
Is his agent or his friend comes up and she says, "You sold all your pictures."
Yeah,
and she's like, "Wait a minute, to who?" And there walks Dorian Gray.
Christian Grey.
I
was gonna be like,
Dorian
Gray enter this fucking movie.
And then fucking Sean Connery shows up. He's like, "I got a submarine."
Yeah, and so he bought all the pictures. And
Yes,
she's
he
like,
bought them
"Wait,
all."
You bought all the pictures?" He's like, "I'm going to take you out to dinner."
No. He said, "I don't want anyone else looking at
Oh,
you."
that's right. Sorry.
He's terrible. But I missed it because I lied. The first time I started laughing was the first scene because the movie opens in 1924 when this little boy.
What?
Hold on. This little boy is running through this like
movie.
sepia. He's running through this sepia-toned kitchen. And he goes and he hides under this tiny little table, and it looks like this little kitchen table, like from a 1920s kitchen, right?
Okay.
Where everyone's impoverished and there's no food, and there's a tablecloth that hangs over the side.
That's dingy.
It's dingy and ratty, and it's falling apart at the corners. And then you find out it's not 1924. This is just his childhood when he was a kid. But apparently he fucking grew up in 1924. Like it really did.
Yeah.
Like it looked like a flashback.
Even like his dad who was abusing him wore like the wife beater that was stained.
Yeah, like he's got his cigarettes rolled up in his sleeve. I made that up. But
So it kind of
that's what
looks
it
like
invoked.
the guy from that Dream and Freddy's Dead.
Yep.
that big fat guy who's like, give daddy some sugar.
Oh, it's just terrible. So I started laughing then and was like, what the? He grew up in the 1920s? And then they cut all this garbage where she goes to this thing.
This is
and he's
this
like,
is convoluted and sounds stupid.
This is 10 minutes.
Is it 10?
10 minutes?
Maybe. This movie is long and nothing happens. So he's like, "Oh well, I want to take you to dinner or whatever, so we can talk." So they go to dinner, and I don't know. She agrees to start dating him again.
Yeah.
And then they bang.
Well, first she says, "I want to take it slow," and then
Yes, she's like, "I wanna take
later,
it slow."
she wants to get spanked.
Yes. Then which is the thing she didn't want to do at the end of the last movie.
Yeah, so she broke up with him because she spanked him, but then she says, "I'm not even in the course of the same conversation."
Yes.
Where she says,
"I want to take it slow.
I want to take it slow, but I don't know if I want you to love me or spank me." Well, what do you want me to do? The second.
Yeah,
Or
no,
what
she
the fuck
straight he straight says like, "Tell me what you want," and she says, "Spank me," and I'm like, what is this character? Like, and also not really like dominant submissive behavior necessarily. It's just rough sex.
Yeah,
like,
and it's just so now it's like she's the one in charge,
but it's not.
But she's being stalked by one of his subs.
Yeah, so then so that happens, and about 20 or 25 minutes in the movie where they're like hanging out. Oh, because there's also all this garbage where like she's got this job at a printing press. And it is 1934. She's got a job at a printing press.
And her boss. Every time I saw her boss, I was just thinking of like the Big Bad Wolf from like the Disney cartoon in like a zoot suit, you know?
Yes, absolutely. And he clearly is attracted to her, and is angry that she's dating this guy. But nothing happens there. Whatever. It's there again. There's not really a conflict there. Anyway, so she's dating Christian Grey, and they start banging again, and every scene where they're not banging, hilarious, just dog shit dialogue.
It is.
I mean, there's time they have no chemistry together. Neither of them are even trying to deliver lines.
And I swear 90% of the dialogue was questions.
Yes.
Where, what do you want me to do?
What do you want to do?
Yeah, exactly. And I was so mad, and my wife didn't understand why I don't enjoy hate watching, because I hate incompetence more than anything in this world.
Oh, I had the best time.
And yeah, so James likes it, my wife likes it, and I'm just sitting there just seething.
I can imagine you being very angry coming out of that movie.
There was a point where after the movie, Brooks was like, because Brooks was with me, there was a point where she was like, she wanted to lean over and ask me, like, do you need to leave? Like, I've never seen you laugh this hard. Like, there was genuinely a time where I was laughing so hard that when they started having sex, I was relieved because it wasn't funny anymore. I could just breathe for once.
Yeah.
Like, so many dumb things that happened in a row where, like, he says something stupid, and she, like, runs out the door because she's like, I'm not going to do what you say. And then she runs into the rain, and then there's that terrible song where it's like, sometimes Superwoman needs Superman, and you and I were livid.
Yeah, I was so
absolutely livid.
I was so mad. And so my favorite, actually the one part of the movie that I thought was really funny was so he flies a helicopter.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So he's got to get to Seattle.
So he leaves, and on his way back,
wait, is he a billionaire or something?
Yeah.
Like
Oh
that?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's like a trillionaire. He's got so much money that no one.
Matter.
Like, yeah, he just buys companies. He's gonna buy her company.
Yeah.
What does he do?
He wants to.
I don't know.
He doesn't fucking do anything. Sometimes he spanks a girl. Like, I don't know what he does.
Who gives somebody $1
So-
trillion to spank a girl?
So anyways, he's flying his helicopter back, and it catches like on fire, and it
Oh,
crashes.
good. So he's gonna die.
So yeah, so it crashes.
Literally, so there's a space. Laura was in the bathroom. There's a space between Ryan and I just reach over, like, hand on shoulder, and we're so excited. Like,
That he's gonna die.
let's die. Like, I so want him to die. And I thought, he's going to die, and she's going to have to, like, Laura Croft herself into the jungle to go get him, like, the edge or something. I was excited the movie was going to... Because then we're, like, an hour and a half into the film, and I went, oh, great, the movie is starting now.
So the helicopter crashes, and there's, like, these news reports. So what's her fucking...
Anastasia.
Oh, that's right.
Because-
I can't remember her name. So she's there, and his family's there. And
Yeah, they're all in his
watching the
swanky
news
apartment.
because they're like, billionaire fucking fucktard Gray
Christian Grey
is
lost in the woods from his helicopter.
yeah,
And they're all sitting there. Marcia
like-
Gay Harden's there.
and everyone's really sad
Killing
because fucktard Gray is dead. And they say, oh, we just got word that he's on his way back to Seattle, and not even a second later,
The sentence isn't... The newscaster is not finished saying that sentence.
and you hear like ding, and the elevator opens, his penthouse opens, and in walks Christian Grey.
Like he called the news from the 14th floor on his way to the 60th and was like, hey guys, I'm fine.
Yeah, and then
I'm in the elevator. It's okay.
And then he also says, what the hell's everybody doing here?
Right?
And his face has like
no one knows.
like has scratches on it. Oh, fuck this movie.
It's so terrible. And then of course he's okay, and his whole family just leaves.
Yep.
Just they see him and they're like, oh great, you brought us the elevator because we had to go.
Oh, wait, we totally skipped over the part. So he was burned as a child, like on his chest.
Oh yes! Oh my goodness!
And so,
Like the first time they're back together, like before they have sex the first time, like they're cooking, like they're adorable couple. We're cooking food because he always just eats out, but she's like, no, we're on a budget now.
Yeah.
And I don't just
your
want
$1
you for
trillion
your
is
money.
you're a trillionaire.
and she's like, so we're gonna cook. So they're cooking together, and she like comes up behind him and like puts her arms between his, like she's being cute, and he's like, no. You know that's off limits. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
He makes her with lipstick draw around his chest where she's allowed to touch. She's not allowed to touch like
she's
his
not
chest.
allowed to touch his muscles. Basically,
Yeah.
basically his pecs and his like six pack.
Yeah, she can't
are
touch
off
him.
limits because that's where he got burned with cigarettes.
Like a day, 2 days later, they're taking a shower together, and he lets her wash off the lipstick that's still there.
Yes. Well, but remember, it all takes place in 3 weeks, so it's probably only about 4 hours.
Oh,
but 3 days worth of things have happened. They've gone to the beach. They went for a boat ride. Like all kinds of things have happened.
if you're confused, Zach,
so are we.
so are we.
At some point during your guys' review, I'm looking back at you, and the TV,
Oh yeah, we're all watching Mickey Mouse right now.
and I'm like, poor Kellen. He doesn't know what we're saying here, but he's gonna hear this years later and go like, "Is that what my dad was doing while I was watching cartoons?"
So there's this whole.
I had to laugh about it, but this makes no sense.
doesn't.
This
just wait.
makes absolutely no sense. This sounds like garbage.
Did you know Kim Basinger's in it too?
Yeah.
Why did they drag her through the mud?
Okay, so literally because everyone knows I haven't seen it. Like when Kim Basinger both first shows up.
And what's her role in this whole thing?
Well, I'm about to tell. I didn't know until both your wife and Brooks both like leaned over into my ear and was like, "She's the woman who molested him as a kid, but he likes her still, and she thought about it." And I was like, I don't need to know. But she's like the villain who like she thinks because he's supposedly into BDSM stuff, even though that's never in the movie. And
You sounded like Jim Carrey for a second there, which is never in the movie.
they talk about it like he's really into domination stuff, and he's got all these ex-subs, and he's got like a torture room, but he clearly doesn't actually like any of that stuff because he never does it. But she's like the one who taught him how to do all that, and she keeps coming to Anastasia and is like, he's never gonna love you. He only likes torturing women who look like his mom, which is always a safe bet. When you're looking for a guy, get the ones who like beating up women that look like their moms.
Yeah.
Always fun times.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So the actual like what's supposed to be the plot is that like maybe the second time after they have sex, because they have sex like every other scene, because the movie's just porn. So she's like in bed or in her apartment or whatever, and like this woman is like in the background.
Oh, that's right.
And then disappears. And so like one of his ex-lovers is like obsessed with him, and like after he dumped her, like she went and got married and her husband died. So now she's just stalking him. And he like has a whole team of spies who follow all the women he's been with. So like he always knows where they've all been. Right. Like watching your eyebrows go up just now, I was like, yes, no.
What?
Exactly. He might be worse than Edward Cullen. And Edward Cullen can kill you with his penis. So like it's that bad.
Yeah.
So that's there's this whole story where like this ex sub of his keeps showing up, and then there's also, so I told you before about her boss. Like there's a scene where she goes to work and her boss like pins her down and is gonna rape her, and then like she escapes. But that's not the conflict of the film, because it's gone in 2 seconds. Because he is magically outside with a team of badasses who he sends in to beat the guy up, and then he buys the whole business and fires him. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like every conflict disappears in seconds.
Because he can buy it.
Right, because he can just buy things. Right. Like not dying in a helicopter.
Yep.
And what, did he buy that one from God?
Yeah, well, no, he's got to teleport in the helicopter. I mean, come on.
Okay.
Teleport into the... He didn't save that woman with him, but teleported into the
Did they ever
elevator.
say what happened to his assistant?
No idea. I'm sure she's fine. It doesn't matter. She doesn't have money. She doesn't count. But then they go to this party, right? So you've got this intrigue going on.
Is that the masquerade in the trailer?
Yeah, so they go to this masquerade ball, and there's this dude who I didn't know... He's in a mask, but like it's supposed to be like he's following her. But this is before her boss tries to rape her. Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. And so it ends up, by the end, you find out that the dude in the ball was her boss, but he has no motivation to be there yet. Like, because it makes no fucking sense.
He's a bad guy in the next one.
Oh, yes.
Because he's smoking a cigarette, and he has, like, purple makeup below his eyes.
Yeah, like he's on drugs now.
I'm sorry.
Man. You fired me, and now I had to do meth. And then at the end, okay, and so then the plot with the woman who keeps showing up, that comes to an end where there's one of those scenes where she pops up in her apartment all of a sudden, only this time she's got a gun, and then Christian just shows up and tells her to give him the gun, and she does it.
And she gets on her knees like she's submitting to his
dominance. Because she's been like brainwashed. Again, always a good sign of a man you want to marry. He can brainwash women. Mm-hmm. So she does that. He mind controls her, and she gives him the gun. So also conflict over. So then the next conflict is like he asks her to marry him, and she says yes. And then he asks her again, and then he asks her again.
Yep.
He asks her to marry him 3 times.
But she said yes already, right?
Right. Yes, she did.
So is he like Jimmy 2 times from Goodfellas?
No. But anyway, so that's concluded.
Yep.
Would have been funnier if this was a BDSM movie with Jimmy 2 times from Goodfellas.
So, but they don't get married in the movie because nothing happens in this movie.
That's the next one.
Yeah, you got to save that for the climax.
Yeah, that's what we were privy to, though, is
Climax.
trailer to the new one coming out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a trailer for the new one.
They shot them at the same time.
50 Shades Freed.
That's a fucking stupid title. Yeah, there was a trailer for the new one because
Okay.
Yeah, keep this shit moving. It's like the Lord of the Rings. We shoot them all at once.
Guys, I just don't care.
Oh my goodness!
But your review of this was highly entertaining and it had a plot development. It had characters I cared about. It had performances that I could totally dig.
The characters you cared about were us, the audience.
And I really want to make a fake trailer called Fucktard Gray.
Oh my goodness! It was so bad.
It's just
like I was.
It's just a cross-eyed. It's a cross-eyed Christian Grey going like, "Duh, can I spank your bottom?"
All I think of is Dewey from Scary Movie. I told you to leave me alone when I'm cleaning my room.
I expected bad. I did, but I also expected like twice as much sex, and I expected it to be like edgy and terrible, and not just like HBO.
It's just terrible.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, they're just having sex. Like, I could see this in an Underworld movie.
Yep.
Like, what? Why is this special? I mean, I guess she's naked a lot, but okay. I don't get it.
Yep.
It's real bad.
Yep.
Wow.
Zach, what'd you watch this week?
Thankfully, I didn't watch 50 Shades of Darker or whatever the.
You can
50 Shades of Sunshine, whatever. I don't know. I only watched a couple things. So I was out in LA recording a guest spot on a podcast. So
cool.
I had a lot of free time. So I watched Freddy vs. Jason again.
Nice.
That movie's great, except I realized how poorly edited it was.
Yeah, if you read the making of it, though,
they had a lot of stuff to deal with.
Yeah, I always think the movie's funny. It just goes from like exposition scene to murder scene to exposition scene to murder scene.
Yeah,
because they're like, man, we got to figure out how to make these mythologies work. But it's still fun to watch Jason kill a lot of people.
Yeah, so. I like burning Jason through the cornfield.
Yep,
that is badass. I watched Crystal Lake Memories again.
It's a great documentary.
Yeah, it was definitely worth the rental fee. And
I'm telling you, get the Blu-ray and listen to the commentary on it. The commentary is really good.
It's like even more extensive and shit.
The commentary of a documentary commentary about a movie.
Well, they talk about how it's hard to get a lot of the people.
Yeah.
And some of the people wanted nothing to do with it. And it's one of the few times I've heard that people like Corey Feldman. So, there's that too.
Interesting.
Nice. I also saw a documentary called Going Attractions, which is about American drive-ins.
Nice.
Cool. Which they sell it at the 88 drive-in that Brad and I always go to. And I've never picked it up for whatever reason, but it was free on Amazon Prime. So I watched it. It's very interesting to figure out that there used to be something called Buck Night.
What is that?
Not fuck night, Ryan. Buck night. Where you could fit how many if you depending on it was funny. I'm sorry.
No, it's just Kellen is crawling all over Ryan. That's all anyone listening needs to know.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, Buck Night.
So Buck Night is a terminology where you could fit as many people as you want into your car, and you would only pay $1 to go inside the drive-in.
Yeah.
But there were people sneaking inside their trunks.
Sure.
So it's like immigration, guys. Like so you'd see
Except
like
the stakes are all
it's like the
lower.
inspiration for that scene in Grease where they're all at the drive-in and you see all the guys getting out of the trunk.
Oh, sure.
That's not fake. That's real. Like that's something people would do. And they also talk about the development of like how the drive-in movie used to be a family affair, and then it slowly but surely goes off a cliff into exploitation films and X-rated films and stuff like that. And they're trying to explain how it's making a comeback nowadays. And they showed our own 88 Drive-In in the documentary, which is pretty cool. They also showed one that I remember going to when I was a kid, which is it's this motel where, and I think it's out in the middle of northern Colorado, where you check into the motel, and right next to it is the drive-in. And if you don't feel like going to the drive-in in your car, you could just watch it from your hotel room.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, and the only thing you have to get up for, really, if you want anything, is like concession snacks and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. And last thing I watched, like, so as you guys know, I work at a thrift shop, and sometimes rich people throw away their shit.
Yeah.
So I got Toy Story 3 on Blu-ray from the thrift shop for $2. And I watched Toy Story 3 again, and
you cry at the end?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I was. What else can you really say except that movie makes you bawl like a little bitch?
Every time he's like, Andy's the best. I mean, Woody's the best sheriff in town. I'm like,
oh god,
yeah, he's the best sheriff.
You're gonna make me cry on the podcast, and we're not even watching the damn movie.
Oh.
I thought that was my favorite. My favorite character in Toy Story history has to be Michael Keaton as Ken doll.
I was just gonna say, I think Bonnie might be the best performance of an animated character ever. Like,
That's
that
possible.
little girl is so adorable and lovable. Like, she feels real. Mm-hmm. In a way that no animated character ever feels that real.
Absolutely,
Man.
So that's all I watched this week.
That's a good list.
I gotta catch up on it because I missed last week. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I watched. That wasn't supposed to work. I just used my left finger to. Well, I guess they do that now on iPhones with the fingerprint.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when Tradesmart was going out of business, they did these like slash sales on their Blu-rays, and I waited a long time to get this one. I waited till it was 70% off, and it's called Venom. And on it, it's like this girl in underwear, and there's like a snake in the back.
Movie. Yes.
Yeah. And Klaus Kinski's in it, and he plays like this hitman. So the movie's really weird.
You mean International Madman Klaus Kinski?
Yes. So it's like a heist movie.
What?
But
they're stealing snakes.
No. So what happens is this little boy is part of this wealthy family, and the dad wants to take all the money. I forget the exact setup for it because I watched it like a week and a half ago.
Sure.
But basically, what happens is, as the dad is trying to get all the money from the mom, and he's gonna they're holding the kid ransom. So the kid has asthma, and so he has these.
So it's not their kid.
It is their kid. So he's holding his own kid ransom, but they don't know that he doesn't know the dad's involved. So the dad's holding the kid ransom with the gang led by Klaus Kinski.
The Man on Fire style.
Exactly.
Spoilers for Man on Fire.
Yeah, way to go. So, anyways, the kid goes to the pet shop to get a snake, but they accidentally give him a black mamba.
Oh no!
And it gets free in the house.
What snake was he supposed to get?
Some like garden variety.
Something that
gardener
looks
snake.
like a black mamba.
No,
but
he's supposed
not.
to get. He just his snake back, but they mixed up the packages. Like this was supposed to go to like some zoo.
But they mixed up the packages.
We had this black mamba here.
So it's this weird like mix of this like cop drama with this snake like in the house, and there is some actually pretty effective moments in it when the snake attacks the maid, and it gets she dies from the black mamba.
Yeah.
And And the movie's actually not that bad. I was actually surprised. I thought it was going to be like one of those like sleazy like exploitation, super gory movies. But the snake is kind of an afterthought. It's more of a heist movie, ransom kind of. You have to watch it.
That just happens to have a snake in it.
Yeah, it's too bizarre to describe, but it's not that bad. And I was actually surprised. And the cover's really cool. And, that's why I bought it.
Cool.
And so the Blu-ray is the transfer is really good on it. It only has a couple special features. I don't know. I guess you can get it on Amazon if you're really interested. But I guess it's a pretty popular like 70s, 80s, early 80s, 70s movie.
Yeah.
Because it's funny that Fangoria you gave me on the back is an ad for the DVD for Venom. Like, all right, I guess it's popular enough where there's a DVD and a Blu-ray of it.
Yeah.
So that's fun. I also watched Michael Bolton's Big Sexy Valentine's Day special.
Oh, yeah.
And so the reason I watched it is, do you guys know anything about it?
Yeah. It's
No, I don't.
It's made by
Comedy
Lonely
Bang Bang
Island.
guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I'll watch this. And it's really fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's like a telethon with Michael Bolton. And but I have to tell you,
A no talent ass clown.
So it opens with Michael Bolton like singing about Christmas in July. And everyone's like, the song is like, it's only 5 more months to Christmas. And Santa comes, like Santa shows up and he's like, oh, hey, Santa, I've missed you. He's like, Michael, I need you to do a telethon because I need 30,000 more kids because I made too many presents this year. So the whole point of him doing a telethon is to have 75,000 more kids conceived. And the only way to do it is with his sexy music. And then there's and Andy Samberg plays Kenny G in it. And so he comes up and he says, "You've lost the power." And Michael Bolton says, "What power? You cut off your hair." And it's the most zany. It's super funny though. I can't even describe like what's going on in this movie, except at the end, Michael Bolton gets his powers back.
And all the children are born.
He gets his powers back because they're like, I think like 75 kids short. It's bizarre.
There's 75 kids short.
That sounds great.
But it's a lot of fun, and it's really cool to see Michael Bolton kind of like have fun with himself. And
are there like people answering phones so
Yeah.
that like you call every
But,
time
like,
you've made a kid?
yeah, but it's like it's all famous people. So like Maya Rudolph's in it. Like it's basically the Lonely Island dudes in there. And Kenny G's in it too.
But he doesn't play Kenny G?
No. So Andy Samberg plays Kenny G, and then at the end of the little bit with Michael Bolton and Andy Samberg, Kenny G's playing a janitor, and he's like, "Man, fuck those guys." It's pretty great.
Good. That sounds good.
I got so you mentioned that Scream Factory is doing these retrospective things.
Essentially, yeah. What they're doing is they're like highlighting or spotlighting on Facebook their catalog titles.
Yeah, so they put out this double feature of X-Ray and Schizoid, and the reason it piqued my interest is they're Canon film slashers. And on Amazon it was like $11.89 for. I was like, fuck it, I'll get it. So I only watched X-Ray, and it's like it takes place in a hospital.
Is it about a guy named Ray who gets killed and now he's undead, so he's X-Ray?
Pretty close.
That would be good.
So
I like how you said pretty close.
So the original name was Hospital Massacre, and the opening of the movie, it says 1967, Susan's house. So in case you didn't know where you're at. And it's these kids playing with a train set that they got for Valentine's Day. And this other boy named Harold leaves a Valentine for Susan, and they just laugh at him. And then they cut to him like looking in the window, and he's like he's really mad that they just threw his Valentine out. So Susan goes and makes a snack or gets candy. I forget what she does.
So wait, X-Ray was made about my life before my life existed?
Unfortunately.
Oh, fuck.
So she goes and gets candy, and she comes back, and her little brother has been murdered, and he's hanging from like a coat rack, like his jaw, like those standing coat racks that looks like a leg.
Yeah, like
so
the portable
he's like,
wardrobe things,
so he's been stabbed there, and then they cut back to Harold, and he's like,
oh, God.
And then cut to, I think it's like 16 years later or something, and it's
because nobody cares.
So the star of this film is the beautiful Barbie Benton, and she's from Playboy. So of course it's a Canon film, so she has to get naked at some point. so she has to have an examination, and the doctor's like, "Take off your clothes." It's weird.
Not how I want that to happen in a movie.
Nope. And so it's basically just this dude killing people all through the hospital. And can you guess who the guy who's killing people through the hospital is?
Let me guess. The guy who was laughing maniacally. The
How
Zach
did you know? How'd you know it was Harold? And this is how stupid the movie is.
Because I can relate to him, Ryan.
This is how stupid the movie is. So you meet him before as the Dr. Harry. So his name's Harry, like to fool people instead of going by Harold.
Harry.
I also watched When Harry Met Sally, which is a brilliant movie.
Harry.
I'll have what she's having.
Harold.
It's interesting when you watch it and Billy Crystal's supposed to be like this sex goddess to women. You're like, can't really put it together.
Well, I think, yeah.
But I think him and Meg Ryan are great in this movie.
Yeah. I think they're supposed to be normal.
Yeah.
Like,
the movie's really funny.
They look like normal people. That's part of what's so charming.
It's Rob Reiner, and it's really
so good.
It's really clever. The movie's really fun. Meg Ryan's really great in it. If you haven't seen it, I mean, I don't know what else to say about maybe the most popular. Is he eating the chips?
Yeah, sorry, your kid's being cute. He's
Is-
feeding Pringles
Dinosaurs
to the dinosaur.
prefer Pringles.
Is it the most famous romantic comedy? Probably.
One of them. It's really
Yeah, like
known
either-
for that scene
either
that
or
I
Sleepless in
just
Seattle.
quoted.
Yeah, it is. But
Like that's the scene that like makes or breaks the movie
No.
for some people.
It's just the most memorable.
yeah,
But that movie is fantastic.
it is. It's really great.
Yeah.
And you know who says that line, right?
Meg Ryan.
His mom.
Yeah, Estelle Reiner.
Oh yes, yeah.
But I really, and then I watched Wet Hot American Summer. I got
Yeah.
the Blu-ray because it's only like $5 at Target.
Yeah.
And that movie's so funny. I forget how like weird it is.
It's so good.
And just like all of their stuff.
I want to be
It's
inside
essentially
you.
sleepaway camp to a degree.
Yeah. I forgot that Christopher Maloney character gets like talked to being normal by a can of beans, and you're just like,
Yes.
this is and I just love the scene where Paul Rudd like makes a mess out of like the Janine Garofalo's character comes and says something to him, so he takes the plate and like shoots it across the cafeteria and says, "You need to clean this up." And he just goes, "Ugh." He's like,
makes a fit as he picks up everything.
But it's
It's like he's 4, and you asked him to clean up after himself.
It's so funny because the camera angle never changes.
So good.
And it stays on him for so long while he's cleaning it up.
Yeah.
It's just so bizarre. And then I watched it again because as I was looking at the bonus features, one of the bonus features is with added fart sounds. So for the whole movie, it's just and these guys laughing while they're doing it. I don't know.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and I forgot they don't really do special features like that anymore, where it's just
That's
stupid.
really good.
Mm-hmm. Like it's literally goes through the whole movie. I watched it again, and this guy's just going throughout the movie.
Oh, that's great.
That's funny.
And this bonus feature actually says now with fart sounds.
Oh, wow.
It's a funny movie. Lots of famous people are in it.
Oh, I love it.
Yep.
Those guys.
The famous Joe Latrulia.
Just a bunch of people before they're really famous in that film.
A lot of them. Yeah. You've watched the show already, right?
I've watched a couple episodes of it.
Okay, yeah.
And the very last thing I watched is my Emily Blunt-a-thon continued with Wild Target with Bill Nighy and Rupert Grint in it.
I remember seeing a trailer for this when it was coming out in theaters. How was it?
It was actually pretty fun. It's so Bill Nighy plays a hitman, and Emily Blunt is a thief, and he gets hired to kill her, but then someone gets hired to kill him, so they have to kind of work together. And it's basically like a British comedy.
It's got Martin Freeman in it.
Yeah, and as Martin Freeman, he's a bad guy too.
Cool.
The dinosaur's eating
Dinosaurs
chips.
eating chips.
That's funny. Good thing Daddy's gonna vacuum today, anyways.
Oh, stop being cute, kid.
But yeah, it's pretty fun.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't remember seeing this at all. Cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun, and it's obviously it's not one of her best movies, but it's still a fun movie. Like I can watch it. I'll watch it again. It's fun.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's I watched a lot the last couple weeks. But
It's from the guy who wrote Clue
yeah,
and directed Clue.
yeah. There's some pretty funny part, and
Who directed it?
Jonathan Lynn. Wow, man, Clue is great.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We should all watch Clue.
We should. Emily Blunt should be in Clue. Emily
Yeah.
Blunt should be in a Clue.
she is. She should be in everything. She can do anything.
She could be Miss White.
When I'm going through her filmography, she's literally in comedy, horror, musicals, dramas,
Thrillers.
She's what you'd call versatile.
She is, and beautiful.
Pretty good.
I love her. And I finished watching Parks and Rec. That show's pretty great.
Yeah.
So would you say that blunt was smokable?
Bad joke.
Go home.
She's huggable.
Oh.
No. I bet she smells good. Creepy.
She probably does. But I like her husband a lot, so I would,
Yeah.
Who's her husband?
John Krasinski.
Oh wow,
They've been
Yeah, I
married for a
wouldn't
long
wanna
time
hurt
too.
that guy either.
Yeah.
They just had
They're
their
funny
second.
together.
They had their second child. That's why this year she's only in voiceover roles.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that's why actually Mary Poppins got delayed a little bit, is because they're waiting for her to finish
Be off of
taking care of her mother, being a mother and stuff.
Taking care of her mom.
Taking care of her child.
Cool.
What's the dinosaur doing?
Eating chips.
Say dinosaurs eating chips.
How was Lego Batman?
This
Dinosaurs
week
are
on
funny.
Real Nerds Podcast, we went and saw Logan. Yeah. Zach, should people go see Logan?
Absolutely.
All right. James, should people go see Logan?
So give me a second because I'm going to get hyperbolic. So I cried at this movie a lot. And I got real emotional about halfway through when I really started feeling like this movie is the fulfillment of a promise that Bryan Singer and Sam Raimi made to us over 15 years ago, that characters and stories that we all cherish so much were going to get treated with a level of talent and respect that they deserve, that was going to create something new and beautiful. This movie is on par with a lot of great Western crime films, but is probably the best superhero movie that I've ever seen. I genuinely walk out of this emotionally affected in a way that I usually am only hit by really good indie dramas and that kind of thing. To me, it's better than Dark Knight. It's better than Spider-Man 3 on a fun part.
Spider-Man 3?
Spider-Man 2. On a fun level, I think it's better than Spider-Man 2. And on a dramatic gravitas level, I think it's better than The Dark Knight. This is, for me, the best comic book movie they've ever made. And yes, I think that everyone should go see this movie. I was amazed. Heck, it's one of the best Westerns I've seen in a while.
It's I don't know if you have to rush out. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I knew you were going to do that.
No, it's everything I wanted it to be when I saw the first trailer.
Yeah.
And
more.
It's one of those films where I'm watching it, and superhero movies get to a point where it's big and bold and everything's great, like Civil War style.
Yeah.
But this movie is one of the first ones where I'm like, oh, they haven't done an action scene in a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm not that I care.
Yeah, I'm not
but
anxious
it's just,
for them to.
You're sitting there watching it in a performance, and emotionally too. It got me at the end as well, because I think you've gone on this journey with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and he just encompasses. I mean, because if you think about it, I think James Howlett, the character of Wolverine, it was born in like the 1860s or something.
1832, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's almost 200 years old.
He's seen all his friends die twice.
He's seen all his friends die twice because
he went back in time.
Yeah, a lot of people don't remember the reason why he has adamantium again is because he reset the timeline.
Right.
In Days of Future Past.
Right.
So there's this this emotional thing with. I guess we should do the trailer before I start spoiling stuff.
I know. I was gonna say you're doing a James.
I know.
You're like,
it's just the movie's awesome. I cried at the end. I did.
I cried in the middle.
And it's just great. So here's the trailer for Logan. Use the one with Johnny Cash.
Of course.
Hello? You know you gotta pay for that, right? Hey, come on.
Not okay.
We got ourselves an X-Men fan. Maybe a quarter of it happened, and not like this. In the real world, people die.
Logan.
I don't want to talk about it.
Logan. Just stop. Be careful. I need the girl.
What girl?
Go get her.
No. No. No.
Holy fuck.
And we're down we go, 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 go. Way down we go.
She's like you. Very much like you.
So we're down we go.
I am not whatever it is you think I am.
Way down.
She needs our help.
Someone will come along.
Someone has come along. This is what life looks like. People who love each other. A home. You should take a moment. Feel it. You still have time. Two days on the road, only one meal and hardly any sleep. She's 11, I'm fucking 90.
Because when the credits rolled and they played that song, I was like, oh, awesome.
Yeah. Well, they played a different song, but it was still Johnny Cash.
But it was a good Johnny Cash song to use.
Man, the performances are so good. Can we talk about Shane?
It's an allegory.
Shane is?
Oh God,
I knew everything was going downhill when they played that much of Shane, and I was like, he is the last gunfighter in the valley. Oh, the last gunfighter in the valley has to leave at the end.
I know.
This is all gonna be bad, guys.
Well, it deals with so many.
That's how I felt.
I know.
It deals with so many interesting things, and I mentioned it before that he's almost 200 years old.
Yeah,
he's seen his friends die.
He's emotionally like 300 because he's gone back in time.
Yeah, he's tired of healing.
Yeah,
he's tired of being Wolverine.
Oh man,
he's just saving up money so he can go out on a boat.
But you don't even really know what the point of that is. It's just like that's what
I think he wants to get away.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like one of these weird things where it's like he and Xavier have talked like we're gonna get a boat and go out in the ocean. And I think part of it is the only person left that he actually cares about is Xavier, and Xavier can't be around anyone, right? And he also is like doing things that he doesn't actually like to Xavier to keep him safe, right? So he's feeding Xavier these pills to suppress his powers.
Well, his powers, because you find out, and you kind of get it at the beginning,
that
he's actually suffering from Alzheimer's, so he can't really control his powers anymore.
Yeah, he has these strokes, and when he has a stroke, he almost kills everyone within a couple mile radius.
Yeah.
Caliban says, like, no, when it happened, I couldn't breathe. It's amazing.
Yeah, guys, I want Patrick Stewart's Oscar on his mantle yesterday.
Oh, because then I don't even know where to start.
Can I start with where I finally cried in the movie?
Yeah.
Because this movie was taking a while for me to because I was enjoying the experience. I'm like, where's the emotional part going to come from me? Because I've been, as I've said before on the show, I am a huge X-Men movie fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've been with this series in the theaters since day one.
Yeah.
It's when he's in the bed.
Really?
Just
it took you
before
that
he
long?
dies. Yeah.
Wow.
Because
why don't you have a heart?
Because
I'm just kidding.
Oh, and you just spoil Charles Xavier dies in the movie. By the way,
Yeah, we're getting
way to go.
Hardcore
Zach.
spoilers.
We're in spoilers, so
We're in
it doesn't
spoilers.
matter.
Build up to it.
It's not even that moment. It's the moment. It's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Is like it's about this man who built this dream. Actually, you know what? Yeah, no, it still is this moment because it's about this man who built this dream that has collapsed upon him colossally.
Well, and he has that great moment where he's like, "Man, this is one of the best days I've had in a long time, and I know I don't deserve it, which is this weird twist on that character, you know.
Because they hint at it, but he's responsible for the death of the X-Men.
Yeah.
Which is
a weird twist on the original book.
It is, but there's also a twist on it because remember, he's in the comics. He's done it a few times,
right?
Whether it's Onslaught or Old Man Logan, whatever. But
Logan killed.
Yeah,
spoilers for Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
Xavier is not the one who kills the X-Men in Old Man Logan.
But you know, same. It's just
sorry. Go ahead.
You know the scenes I loved with Logan and Xavier is whether they're in the truck and he's, you know, how long has it been since you took a pill?
Yeah.
He's like a couple days, and they just, it's the most real I've ever felt like dialogue was when you hear, because at first it's kind of jarring hearing Xavier say fuck.
Oh,
and
yeah, it's
shit,
weird.
Oh, yeah.
And then you realize that it's real.
Yeah.
You know, he's as beaten up as Wolverine.
So I realized that this movie was brilliant when you could take the superhero parts out.
Oh, yeah.
And this would be an amazing father, son, and granddaughter road trip film, right? Like the emotional gravitas of those sequences where yes, he's talking about the pills he's supposed to take and these relationships they have, and when he tells Logan that he's such a disappointment, like it hits, and it doesn't hit in a, you know, because we were supposed to save the world together. It's a I brought you up to be a better man than you are kind of moment. And that's so rough. Like in a real, like,
because
Little Miss Sunshine scene kind of way.
Jackman's performance there, too, is like it hits him.
Yeah.
He's like, really? I'm a disappointment to you? All I'm trying to do is keep you alive. And it's an interesting... It's an interesting play to have, you know, something bad happened to him.
Yeah.
They never explain what happened to him.
And you don't need to.
You don't have to, but
Yeah.
you know Xavier is responsible for the deaths of the X-Men.
Yeah. Or at least some people's deaths, right? Like, I think there's a way to read it where maybe he has a stroke and kills a bunch of just innocent people, period, and that the X-Men have just been hunted to extinction to some extent. Like, I think there's a reading there, too.
What I liked about it was that it wasn't that clear.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
we don't need
have
that
to,
information.
because the emotion impact is already there.
Right, like these are all people who are carrying a lot of guilt and shame about who they are, which is the X-Men.
And how many times has Wolverine turned his back on it? You know, I'm not a team guy.
Yeah.
It's just, the whole arc is just amazing throughout this film. It has tons of weight to it.
And
it's just,
we haven't even talked about what is, the main story of the movie, which is Laura, who I think part of what's great about that story is that, yes, they're telling this really wonderful sort of Western,
it's a remake of Shane, but with claws.
Right, yeah, like they're telling Shane. But at the same time, it doesn't lose that feeling of what the X-Men is really about, which is creating people who are outsiders, and then that fantasy fulfillment of making them powerful and making the thing that makes you an outsider actually be the thing that makes you powerful. And so, like those scenes where when you finally get to watch Laura freak out on some dudes and murder them, like it's actually satisfying because she's so frustrated and oppressed, and like that is so what the X-Men normally is anyway.
Yeah, the first scene where she does it, you don't see her do it. She just walks out and she rolls that head, and you can feel the audience in my theater anyway start getting tense.
Oh yeah,
like oh shit.
And then a awesome car chase happens with a limousine. How about car chases with limousines?
Yep.
Man,
the movie's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
and it's. And it's really cool too. I love the build up to Wolverine's berserker rage.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole movie because he can't heal right. I mean, even in the first scene when he his claws come out, one of his claws doesn't come out all the way.
What an amazing moment! Like that's just an adept way to communicate something to the audience. And to set the stage for how rough this movie is going to be.
Yeah, because there's even one of my favorite moments between Wolverine and Laura is Wolverine says, and any other that bullshit Charles has told you. He also says that you want to die. Oh yeah, is that what he said? He told me not to let you. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Or don't. I forget what the exact is, but she's basically.
How great is that scene where
oh man, this movie is so well written. Where she's not telling him that she's frustrated that she knows he's going to leave, and he says to her like, no, like I have to go. Bad things happen to people I care about, and she turns to him and says, then I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And you're just like, holy.
And then she
delivers that line like a master.
And it cuts back to Logan, and his non-verbal expression is.
It is like
it's so good.
Mm-hmm. This movie has so much soul and is telling you such a great story that it's the kind of things that I've talked about in the past when we waxed poetic about Arrival and that kind of thing. Where like this is one of those great stories that becomes like a constellation in your life where you remember like this is like that time when Wolverine made this choice, right? Like it's one of those touchstones for your soul where you just go like, like what great character moments that inform the way I'm supposed to live and have my life be. It's just so beautiful. It's hard to not, I think, be moved by that story. And well, even before the ending, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the sad parts of this movie are not that he dies, spoilers. The sad parts of the movie are how much shame and guilt he feels for himself, even though what's brilliant about this film is that they go and, he thinks he is this terrible monster, and what they do is they introduce, no, here's what you could be. If you were actually a terrible monster, you'd be this version of you. And there's this cool, like, foil mirror that they hold up to him that's like, no, here's the killing machine that you think you are. And you get to see, like, you have this great heart. You are a great hero. You just don't get to see it.
Yeah,
that actually is better way of explaining X-24 than because when I first saw it, I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, it's a callback.
At first you think it's a callback.
I thought it was a callback to the first movie where it's Wolverine fighting Wolverine, even though it's not really Wolverine.
Right.
In the case of X-Men 1, it's Mystique.
Yes.
But like I thought it was a callback to that. But listening to you explain it, that I like your version better.
Yeah, when it first happened, it's funny because I told my folks, I was like, I think I've seen too many bad movies because when that scene happens where he kills Xavier, I thought it was a dream sequence when it first happened because the way that it happens, it's shot the way that a bunch of shitty films will shoot a dumb dream sequence where then you wake up and you go, oh man, I'm glad the hero's not dead. Like this one, and I almost didn't like it at first because I thought like, oh man, you really wasted that. But it works really well because of course Xavier actually dies in the back of the truck, and that scene is so powerful.
Yeah, and it's you're right. It's that moment has emotional beats to it and like a hardcore action moment.
Yeah,
where X-24 kills Xavier.
Yeah,
and then Laura jumps up and starts attacking him, throws her off, and then he just murders that kid.
Yeah.
And there's a little moment before Logan leaves to help the dad, and he says, you realize us being here endangers this family.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly what happens. The whole family's murdered.
Yeah.
And
it's actually almost like in a terrible way, Xavier actually has it coming.
Oh yeah,
it's his fault that they're
exactly.
there.
And what I love about this movie too is one of my biggest pet peeves in movies is when they pussyfoot around something.
Yeah.
And in this, it's like, nope, this thing showed up, killed Xavier, killed the kid, killed the mom, killed the dad eventually, and it's they didn't say, oh, the kid's okay. No, that kid didn't make it.
Yeah.
It's just that's why I think you don't have to pull punches in a movie if it pays off.
If it's earned, yeah.
If it's earned,
right.
It's earned in that movie.
Yeah.
It's earned where, the little girl who plays X-23 is amazing.
She's so good.
Like the rage that she has on, so when Wolverine goes all berserk, I remember I was like, oh, finally. He's gonna, because it's a great build up to it. And then he loses it fast. And then when X-23 gets on X-24, and it's just going
yeah,
and it's like I'm like, oh fuck,
it's so good,
it's great.
Oh man,
and it's just built up so well.
And it's funny because they also Wolverine is one of those characters that almost has a little bit of that Superman-ness to him, where he takes so much that there's not always a lot of gravity to his fights, and yet like that last fight
where obviously you also kind of know where it's going if you're really reading the film, but still, like, he is so defeated all the time. You do feel like this is tough for him.
Oh yeah.
She is desperate to try to find a solution, right? Because here's this kid who doesn't have a good answer and doesn't really know how to handle this stuff. And like, she's like scrambling for the gun, and she's got this idea, and like, there's so much great tension in that sequence, even though it's it's three people who all have super healing powers and can't seem to ever die.
Yeah.
And yet it works so well.
It does. And you're right. You don't need the superpowers to make it a great film.
No.
It's
if those guys were just beating each other up like They Live style, it would have been equally great.
Yeah, and I still love, but the superhero parts I think are so well done.
Agreed.
The part where Charles has the breakdown in the casino, and Wolverine is using his claws to get like down, and everyone else is frozen because they don't have superhuman strength.
Right.
And he's just going through and just killing those guys, and they don't even realize it. Oh, it's so good. Awesome.
Well, no, they're alive.
Yeah.
That, like, the one guy's eyes like move to look at him like, shit. Oh, man.
It reminds me a lot. A lot of people don't like X3, but one of my favorite scenes is when Wolverine is fighting against Jean Grey. And I think the music is so good in that, and he goes up to kill her, and his skin's being ripped off, and it kind of reminded me of that, but like grittier and cooler.
Yeah,
so yeah, it was awesome.
Even Caliban is cool.
Yep.
Stephen Merchant does a good job.
Yeah,
when he takes those grenades.
Yep.
Beware the light, and then everything blows up. And that dude who kind of looks like the bad guy from Harry Potter, he's really good.
Yep.
Yeah, no, the movie's well done. That's yeah.
James Mangold one-upped himself from the first Wolverine.
Yeah, because I really like the Wolverine.
Yeah, I do. So do I.
I obviously this one's better, but
oh yeah,
it's amazing what they're able to do, and that's we talked about earlier. You can make rated R comic book movies if you tell a good story. And tonally, obviously, Deadpool's way different.
Yeah,
but this one I think needed it because it's so dark. It's so I don't know the right word. I guess dark's not the right word, but it's
to pull off the emotional weight.
The emotional weight it's needed.
Yeah, it's like earthy.
Yeah,
it does. It feels like it comes out of the same genre as a Hell or High Water, No Country for Old Men. Like, it has that tone and momentum to it. I mean, the fact that it takes that long sequence to stop at the farmhouse and let the characters breathe, and like there's this whole little mini adventure where they go to turn the water back on.
The dinner scene is great.
Oh, the dinner scene! Oh, it's so good.
When Logan lets his guard down a little bit, and he says, I was kicked out of school a couple times.
And there's a whole subplot where Laura is very slowly being introduced to the world. Where it's like she's never really listened to music before. She's never eaten Pringles. Like she's never seen cool pink sunglasses. All these little moments that happen, and him having to sort of father her through all of that. And they're almost throwaway scenes for the drama of the film.
They work
but they're
really
charming.
well.
Yeah, and they make you connect to her so much that when the movie flips at the end and she's the one delivering the very speech from Shane about the last gunfighter in the valley, like. It's just so heartwarming and wrenching at the same time because you love her so much, and she spends most of the movie not talking. So good.
Yeah, you should probably go see Logan.
Yeah, you should probably go see Logan.
You should definitely go see
Logan.
Logan.
I mean, not now that we've spoiled everything for you, but no, still, because I want to go again.
I do too.
Man.
Can next week's movie be Logan again?
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately, next week's movie is Kong.
Which I'm really excited about.
Skull Island.
Yeah.
You know what I love in the trailer?
Everything?
The new one is he takes that tree and he, pulls all the branches off.
Okay, am I mistaken, or is there a shot where he's being attacked by a giant squid? I think there's a big octopus thing.
It
in the
would
movie.
be. That would be possible. There's supposed to be monsters that come from the ground.
Yeah.
So maybe there's an undersea one.
That would be cool.
Like a giant squid that comes up.
There's this quick shot, and I'm like, is there a whole action scene we haven't seen anything of where he fights a giant squid?
Probably.
Because that'd be dope.
And it squirts ink in his eye, and Kong gets pissed.
Yeah.
I'm hoping just the little action they've shown is kind of the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's way more to the movie because people like it.
And there's a big sort of homage-looking sequence where he fights one of those dinosaur things that kind of looks like him fighting the T-Rex.
Mhm.
You know, where they run at each other and then they like.
Well, I read an interview with the cinematographer, and he said he was trying to make it look like Apocalypse Now. So
it does.
It would explain that cool Mondo poster.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the shot of him like standing in front of the sun.
Yes. Yeah, where the poster where he's standing in front of the sun and all the soldiers are walking on the ocean. What is happening? Why are there so many Jesuses? Yeah, it's funny. I'm excited.
Yep. Still have to see Logan again.
Yeah.
Is that? I think it's one of the first superhero movies in a long time that's not in 3D.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't in 3D.
What was the other one that? There was something else recently that normally would have been a 3D movie that wasn't. Yeah.
And things are starting to pick up though. Next week Kong. Week after that's Beauty and the Beast, and then I think it's Fate of the Furious.
Yeah.
Or wait, maybe that's the end of April. I don't remember.
Family.
Never turn your back on family.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, it might be the second best Vin Diesel movie this year.
Don't get these mixed up, please.
My hope is that they end up being the same. My hope is that it turns out that evil Vin Diesel in this movie is actually XXX undercover, and that they're gonna merge the two films, and that it's gonna be a movie where Vin Diesel plays two characters in a whole franchise. That's what I want. This shit needs to get crazy.
So I've only seen Fast and Furious, Fast 5.
Good, you're doing
and
well.
The original The Fast and the Furious.
Oh, so you saw the fourth one?
You saw the fourth Fast.
Yeah,
sorry,
I saw the.
Sorry, the title.
Sorry, so I've seen 1, 4, and 5, but I'm gonna change that this year. I'm gonna watch all of them leading up to Fate of the Furious.
Okay, so I'll point you to my collection. I have 1, 2, 5, 6, 7.
I was gonna say you have one too many.
Yeah,
you don't need 2.
2 is.
You
there.
need 1. You need 5. You need 6 and 7. And even need is a strong word on 6 and 7. But you need 1 and 5.
5's awesome.
5 is genuinely a good film.
Yeah. Oh, I loved Fast 5.
1 is a really good remake of Point Break.
Welcome to Rio.
Welcome to Rio.
Can Vin Diesel die in this one? Just have the rock bottom him through like a fucking cement.
He turns out to just be a robot, and then he like starts twitching like hell. He's like, family, 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 family.
Well, I'm already a little excited for this one because
You never had your car.
Rock and Jason Statham team up.
Yes.
So I mean,
but at first they don't like each other.
They have to
course
fight
they
through
don't.
it.
They're gonna have to team up.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like a Man from U.N.C.L.E. situation where they get broken out of jail together, and then the guys are like, "You guys have to work together," and they're like, "What?" But I hate his face.
Yeah.
I hope they actually say, "I hate his face."
I hate his face. Anyway, I don't know why they sound like a
These
roided
movies
up
sound like they're
Marky
written
Mark.
by like 8-year-olds with caffeine in
I
their
think they
system.
are. I think Vin Diesel has his kids writing it. No one knows it.
And then
And then the dinosaur cop shows up. Oh,
this just in, Kellen has been attached to write Fast and Furious 9.
Oh, that'd be great.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
We'll see you at Skull Island next week.
Yeah. Bye.
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 Real Nerds is a Nebulous Visions multimedia production. We would also like to thank Sparks Mandrill for our music. Additional music from Ben Sounds. Thank you to Alamo Drafthouse. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics. And thank you for listening to the Real Nerds podcast. So you're giving her flowers just because she's coming back?
No, I'm giving her flowers because Zach gave me free flowers.
Oh, that's good. So let me wax poetically about what it's like to be married, James.
Okay.
So yesterday we watched my mother-in-law's dog for about a week.
Jake?
Yeah.
Aw.
And so her mom insists on paying us and mean we do it for free.
Yeah.
But you know my wife's mom, if we try to say no to her, it just won't work.
Yeah, she'll just drop cash through your house.
Exactly.
And a vacuum and a car and some food.
Pretty much. So she gave us a check for $100, and I just
yeah, high five.
And I just put it in my wallet.
You're cute.
Mm-hmm. And then I told my wife, I said, "Oh, you have off Saturday. I'll be home around 10:30." I said, "I'll just cash that check your mom got us, and we'll go do something fun."
Hell yeah.
Whatever, who cares? And she said, "Okay." So I get home at 10:30. My wife's not here. She shows up like at 12:30.
Sure.
And she said, "Oh, I didn't think you'd be home right away." It's like, whatever. And so I said, "Well, you want to go do something?" She's like, "Yeah, let's." Kellen was talking about wanting to go see dinosaurs. That means he wants to go to the museum. He loves the museum.
Aw.
Yeah. So we're getting ready, and I'm like, man, Kellen feels like really hot.
Big dinosaurs, yeah.
And
you want to play in the water?
Oh yeah, they have their new thing there is they have like a water like science thing. It's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Like where the old
the
classroom thing. Remember the old classroom thing they had there?
Yes. Yeah.
Where the kids would go and they took that out and now it's like water and digging for dinosaurs.
Oh, cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'd do something like that.
Hey, I'm not saying it's that I don't play in it, but I do. So, anyways, so he actually started breaking out in a fever.
Oh,
so
no.
we're like, well, we probably shouldn't take him out because he looked miserable.
Yeah.
So we
Let's drop him off with the grandparents.
Right. So we come home and then Laura starts falling asleep. He starts falling asleep like, fuck it, I've been up all night. I'm going to go take a nap too. So after about 2 hours, my wife comes in and she says, "So do you want to go out to eat or do you want me to make hamburgers?" I said, I don't care, honey. Whatever you want to do. Listen to what I said. I don't care, honey. Whatever you want to do.
As you wish.
See, it would have been better if I said that, except she's never seen that movie, so my wife...
What?
My wife doesn't like the book, so she won't watch the movie.
The book came after the movie.
So I get up and my wife's acting really weird. I was like, what is she doing? And I should preface this by saying when I woke up, she made her and Kellen dinosaur chicken nuggets for dinner.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I said, okay.
Where's my dinosaur chicken nuggets?
I said, so you're not going to make me anything? And this is what she said. You said you didn't care.
That is so not what you meant.
Thank you. So I'm like, okay.
What you meant was, hey, if you want to stay home and relax, we can do that.
Thank
or
you.
if you want to go out,
Thank
I would
you.
be more than happy to go
Thank
out
you.
with you.
Thank you. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just make myself something later. So I sit down and I start reading a comic. And she said, okay, well, you want to go get some dessert? I said, yeah. Dessert? I said, yeah, sure. And then 5 minutes later, she said, well, I'm going to leave. I'm like, I said, where are you going? She said, I can go wherever I want. I
don't need no man.
I said, okay, I'll see you later. And she came back home. I said, where the fuck did you go? She said, well, I've been in home for 4 straight days. I get cabin fever, and I just wanted to go somewhere. And if you didn't want to go with me, you should have just said so. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
The whole thing was my idea.
And I said, you never said that to me. You said, I'm leaving. And she said, well, how am I supposed to know what you want? You don't talk to me and you just pick up your comic books? Like, oh my God. So, welcome to being married.